Good Friday morning, and thanks for logging on to tdsweather.com. I'm meteorologist Joseph Cooper with your forecast for today out there this morning. Most of us pretty quiet, a couple showers and thunderstorms in far eastern portions of Ohio out there this morning. You can also see some thunderstorms down in southern Illinois, southern Indiana, where there's a severe thunderstorm watch this morning. That'll clear on out of here. However, as we work later on into the afternoon and into the evening, a pretty active and potentially a pretty significant day of severe weather across the region, especially across the southern half or so of the Ohio Valley here this afternoon into this evening. So going into the next couple of hours into 8 and 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you can see severe thunderstorms back down into southern Kentucky and back down into northern portions of Tennessee. But for us here, we're going to be pretty dry, and we're actually going to see quite a bit of sunshine, which it's going to allow instability to build here across the area this afternoon, and that is just going to further aid in what could be a pretty impressive round of severe weather here later on. So we continue into 3 and 4 p.m., 5 o'clock. You can see thunderstorms developing back out towards Springfield, St. Louis, out into Vandalia, Illinois, and that's kind of the leading edge of these thunderstorms, and they're going to continue to develop as they move across Illinois in a very favorable environment for severe weather. And as we continue into 6 and 7 p.m., those thunderstorms, especially the severe round of thunderstorms, is probably focused more from I-70 southward there in Indiana, out towards places out in Vincennes, out towards Terre Haute, back down to the southwest, stretching into southeastern portions of Missouri. Thunderstorms back up to the north could be severe up towards Lafayette and up towards Gary as well, although lesser of an extent of the more of the severity there. We continue on into 8 and 9 o'clock. You can see this line of thunderstorms moving across central Indiana here from Muncie to Indy, back down to Bloomington, down into Evansville. The rest of it is still pretty dry here unless you're in Indiana and far southern Illinois here this evening. One thing you can kind of notice is some of these individual thunderstorms out ahead of this main line. Those would be a big concern here this evening for the threat of tornadoes and possibly even some strong long track tornadoes essentially across southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and back down into Kentucky. We continue on into 9, 10, 11 o'clock. This line of thunderstorms continues to march east across Indiana tonight on into Illinois. We'll see thunderstorms into Ohio, and we'll see thunderstorms back out in the southeastern portions of Michigan as well. But again, it's really the southern Ohio Valley down into the Tennessee Valley that sees the brunt of the severe weather. As we continue on into 11 o'clock, into midnight, 1 a.m., 2, 3, 4 a.m., these will push on off across Ohio, eventually exiting Ohio, southern Ohio by 4 to 5 a.m. here. So a pretty quick line of thunderstorms. The rest of us overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, while you'll see a few showers up into Michigan, maybe northern Indiana, will be pretty dry. That cold front is passing tonight into tomorrow morning. As we head through the day on Saturday into 9, 10, 11 o'clock into noon, we'll see some showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms across the eastern portions of Ohio redevelop ahead of that cold front before it exits towards 4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow. But the rest of us here across the region here, on Saturday, we'll see more sunshine and just some cooler temperatures. We continue with dry weather tomorrow night on into Sunday morning, and as we work through 9, 10, 11 o'clock here Sunday morning, still seeing dry weather, any kind of rainfall down to our south here on Sunday, and we'll continue with dry conditions Sunday night on into Monday. Then as a little wave of energy comes through here Monday morning into Monday afternoon, we'll see additional scattered showers and thunderstorms move across the forecast area. Taking a look at rainfall amounts here for today, of course the heaviest activity is going to be across the southern portions of the region. So far southern Indiana, southern Illinois, southern Ohio, you guys are going to tend to see closer to a half inch to an inch of rainfall, with those rainfall totals pretty quickly tapering off to less than a quarter of an inch once you hit I-70, go north across Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, up into Michigan. Probably less than a tenth of an inch of rainfall into the next couple of days back up across northern Illinois, so a bit drier there. There certainly will be some higher amounts down into the far southern portions of the Ohio Valley under some of these heavier thunderstorms, where the potential for 2 to 3 inches of rainfall and some flash flooding will occur. A moderate risk of severe weather is in place here from St. Louis, Illinois, back out towards Bloomington, Indiana, down towards Cincinnati, and then stretching all the way back down into northern portions of Tennessee. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, some of those tornadoes being strong and long track potentially here with these storms. And then you can see the enhanced risk out there across central Illinois, central Indiana, and then back out into south central and southern portions of Ohio, with a slight risk back up further to the north here. So if you're in that area, certainly have a way to receive watches and warnings as we head into the evening, and just keep an eye on the forecast as we progress through the day. Highs today is still going to be very warm out there. We'll be into the middle to upper 80s across Indiana out into Illinois. We'll be into the low to mid 80s across the rest of the region. As we head into the overnight hours tonight, that cold front pushes on through. So by tomorrow morning, places up towards Chicago will be into the low to mid 50s, while the rest of us are still into the upper 50s to low 60s across much of Indiana, Ohio, back out into Michigan, and then you can see northern Indiana seeing some lower 50s out there locally tomorrow morning. And then as we head into the daytime hours on Saturday, our highs tomorrow will only be in the upper 60s to mid 70s across the area, with even some low to mid 60s into interior portions of Michigan on Saturday. And then as we continue into Sunday, a little bit warmer with widespread 70s, and we'll continue with a lot of 70s here on into the early portions of next week, with some cooler air back up across the Great Lakes region. That's all I have for you here this morning. Everybody, thanks for logging on. Have a great day and stay safe.